Hi, welcome. My name is Deborah Truer, and today we're going to look at literacy remediation. Today we're going to look at the 5 components of reading. 1, phonemic awareness. 2, phonics. 3, vocabulary. 4, fluency. 5, comprehension. It's like a puzzle piece, as we can see here, where they all need to come together to help a reader be a great reader. So we're going to take our first look at phonemic awareness. Really, what is it? Well, phonemic awareness is having the ability to link sounds with letters and having an understanding of the relationship that they have with what you say and what is written. A lot of students can do invented spelling. This is a great way to see where they are in their stage of phonemic awareness. It really does a linking of the English language so that they have an understanding of it. Conan boxes are a great way to help out with reading. What do? Well, down here in the corner, you can kind of see where they break down the sounds for each one of the pictures that are represented there. So it helps a student understand how to separate sounds in a word. Another thing that you can do is inventive spelling. So through inventive spelling, that can happen through journal writing. And it's important that you model the journal writing before you do any kind of writing with the students. Our second component for reading is phonics. Phonics takes those phonemes and puts them together so that students can see the relationship between the sounding out of the words to form recognizable words, decoding words. So they understand how the words are formed, and it helps them in their writing, and it helps them with their spelling, blending it together to find recognizable words. Well, you might be thinking, what's a strategy I can use? Well, I've got a couple for you. For reading, you can see on the picture here, picture sorts. Students can sort pictures by their vowel sounds. Another example for writing is they can make words. They can use small tile letters and create words with different ending sounds. Our third component for reading is vocabulary. Vocabulary is taking those unknown academic words or even words that we just don't recognize within the text, and we're trying to figure them out. Sometimes we use our context clues to help us, but a lot of times it really helps to have background knowledge. Prior knowledge can affect our understanding of our vocabulary. Writing is enriched with the correct usage of the vocabulary. I've got 2 strategies for you. One for reading, you can do a pre-teaching with a song. It's helpful and it's fun, and the kids are really engaged when they can learn the vocabulary ahead of time through a song or even a poem. A second thing that you can do for writing is using that graphic organizer. That graphic organizer helps you to get all your thoughts and all the academic language out on the paper before they start their writing. That brings us to our fourth component, fluency. Fluency is the ability to be able to read accurately, clearly, with expression, and fluid. The problem is many people think that they have to read quick during this time, and it actually needs to be at a level in which you can comprehend and with the appropriate expression. How can this be used in writing? Well, one way is when a student does their writing, they're able to go back and reread what they wrote, making sure that it just flows correctly, and by stopping at the correct punctuation marks. Time for your strategy. One strategy that you can do during reading is host a reader's theater. That's a great way for everyone to develop their fluency. A second thing is having a timed writing time and having the students be able to write their sentences during that timed writing time. So our last and final component is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is important because it focuses on the meaning of the whole text. The other thing that is very important is when it comes to writing, students need to really understand to be able to write a written response effectively. And the comprehension strategies are, number 1, for reading, a discussion and getting the gist are 2 great ways to find out what the students really know. Through discussion, they're able to talk with each other and get an idea. Getting the gist is exactly just that. After they read, they ask themselves, what did I just read? The plan for the writing is a graphic organizer. A graphic organizer helps them organize their thoughts so that they understand what they just read. Progress monitoring and assessments are very important. They hold you accountable and hold the student accountable. It gives them some feedback. Sometimes we don't like that feedback, but some things to take into account is that we need to keep track of where the student currently is and where they're currently going to go. So to do that, we need to keep data ongoing, and it needs to be authentic. Running records is a great way. Student work, observation, using past data is also a great way to help you know what to do with your students. Well, why would you need all this data? Well, first of all, any teacher needs to know where their student is to adjust their instruction so that they can meet their students' individual needs. A great online resource for reading and writing for struggling students would be Success Maker. Why is it so great? Success Maker meets them where their needs are and helps them individualize instruction at its very best. What can a reading literacy specialist do? There's many things they can do. One thing that they can implement is doing a small group, running maybe systematic phonics within the small group, doing a read out loud, hosting family literacy nights to educate parents, and last but not least, a great way to get people involved in the whole school is by getting everybody on board with a school-wide reading program. Well, I'm glad that you stayed with me all the way to the end of the slides, and I hope that you learned so much through this wonderful presentation.